Hey guys, I'm Chetna and today I'm bringing you a lovely comforting soup. So it's a leek and potato soup, but I am going to add some more loveliness to it in the form of chickpeas. So I'm going to start with, like any good recipe, with a shallot or an onion. If you don't have a shallot, use a small onion. That's also fine. And because it's a soup and we're going to kind of blitz everything up later on anyways, this means that I don't have to finely chop anything, which is always a plus point. Never complaining about that. So just gonna roughly chop up the shallots. So a nice hot pan, and in goes some salted butter. Just gonna let this melt. I'm just gonna add some olive oil to this. And going to throw in the shallots. And I'm just going to give the shallots 2 to 3 minutes, just as they start to soften up. So while the shallots are cooking, just going to chop up 2 really healthy, lovely chunky garlic cloves. And again, just going to roughly chop this. Not going to bother with fine chopping. Garlic after 2 minutes. So I am making enough soup for 4 people, and I'm going to serve it on the side of some nice sourdough. So I don't want masses of quantity, which is why I'm using 1 leek. And what I'm going to do is not add all the leek in one go. So first of all, a good way to clean this, because there's always kind of, look, like mud inside it. So just cut it into 4s and then give it a good rinse under the tap. Now just roughly chop up the leek as well, but I'm not going to use all of it. I'm going to keep the tops for later. I'll come back to that later. And that has got a very slight color on the garlic and the shallots, which is great, which means that I can now add the leeks. Oh, it smells so nice. Now I'm going to give it 4 to 5 minutes to soften up, and I'll prepare the potatoes in that time. The smell of garlic, shallots cooking in butter, oh, so good. So I am going to just have got 3 medium-sized potatoes here. I like to use the red potatoes, but you can use Maris Piper or an all-rounder. I'm just going to peel them and once again roughly chop them up. Just going to cut it into centimeter cubes or a centimeter and a half, just small cubes. Add the potatoes. And then again, I like a littlest bit of color, not too much. So I'll give it again 4 to 5 minutes on medium heat. So for the chickpeas, I'm using a tin of chickpeas, 400 grams. But if you have time, if you remember, you can of course soak them overnight, which I always do if I'm making a curry, because I just don't think the tin chickpeas for a good Indian curry, they just don't do it justice. Anyways, so I'm gonna drain the chickpeas out. So that's 2 tin of chickpeas. So I'm going to keep like a few tablespoons, so maybe 4 to 6 tablespoons of the chickpeas out in a bowl. Not going to add it to the soup yet. But this one goes in. I'll show you how the potatoes are looking now. Look, they've got this loveliness on some of them. It smells incredible. That's all I was looking for. A little bit of a few pieces of charred potatoes. And now I add the chickpeas. Mix. So I've got a liter of boiling water and I'm just gonna add a couple of stock cubes, vegetable stock cubes to this. And of course you can use homemade vegetable stock. But I've never made a vegetable stock at home. I've always, if I make stock at home, it's always chicken. I love homemade chicken stock. But the vegetable one, not so much. I've not made it. So yeah, you can make your own. I'm going to add all of this into the soup and a good stir. And I'm also going to add some salt just to mix. Now is the time we let it cook slowly. So I'm going to turn the heat off to the lowest heat possible on the hob, and then I'm going to let this cook for 40 minutes because that will just give us enough time to kind of simmer and kind of the potatoes can soften up and start breaking, which is how I like them. So leave it alone, and I've got the chickpeas and leeks sitting on the side. So 40 minutes. So there's 10 minutes left on the soup. I'm not taking it off the hob. I'm just moving it to this hob for the last 10 minutes because that gives me time to prepare the toppings. So again, nice hot pan. You can use the leftover chickpea water to make some vegan meringues. So yeah, if you have someone vegan or you're vegan, then definitely something to try. So just a little bit of olive oil goes in first, and then these leftover leek tops, I'm just gonna thinly slice them. It's just gonna go in the oil, and also gonna add the leftover chickpeas. And you just want to cook it on high heat. So what we want is a little bit of color. So as you can see, it's charred very nicely, which is perfect. And now we can add the spices. So I'm just going to turn the heat off. And a little bit of salt, some coriander powder, and spice it up. Bit of ground cumin and just a little bit of paprika. You can use chili powder if you like. And then mix. Look at that. That will taste phenomenal. Now I'm just gonna let it sit in the pan till I'm ready to serve. And I'm just gonna show you how it looks before I blitz it up. So everything is cooked and kind of just breaking apart, which is great, which is how we want it. And the reason for adding chickpeas earlier on was that the chickpeas should also start kind of breaking up. Look at that. That's what you want. So I'm going to now blitz this soup until it's smooth. There goes the soup back in the pan for a few finishing touches. So that's the soup, and I'm going to finish it with some black pepper, lots of black pepper, and then some cream, just some double cream. And then just only thing left to do is plate this up, and this loveliness is gonna go on top of this soup. And here is the leek and potato soup with lovely chickpeas. So obviously the topping is optional. If you don't want to spend another 5 minutes, it's fine, but trust me, it's going to be amazing. Yeah. And then the last bit is some chili oil, and the chili oil is just gonna do its thing. It's so hot, it's piping hot. I don't want to run my mouth. Oh, joy. Oh, it's lovely. Oh. Just want to sit down, cozy up, and enjoy this soup. I'm telling you, the highlight of this soup is that are those leeks and chickpeas on top. I'm promising you, that is creating magic. Seriously, this is such a comfort in a bowl. Hope you will try this, and I'll see you guys very soon.